In the hushed dimness of a late-night flight, a frosty shiver slowly seeps through the cabin. The late-night journey creates a canvas of darkness, intermittently lit by the soft glow of overhead reading lights. Passengers, each a world unto themselves, ensconced in personal sanctuaries created by airline-issued blankets. Some drift in and out of sleep, while others steadfastly battle the pull of slumber. Their senses, dulled by fatigue, are sporadically awakened by the mechanical lullaby of the aircraft's engines. The sporadic murmur of flight attendants, whose voices subtly weave in and out of the soundscape, adds a human layer to the symphony. Their dreams are colored by these whispers, by the hum of the engines, and the soft murmurings of the attendants. An unsettling chill begins to permeate the cabin. Passengers, cocooned in their blankets, doze uneasily, their dreams punctuated by the hum of the aircraft's engines and the subdued chatter of the flight attendants. Among these travelers is Sarah, a young woman with a penchant for the eerie and the unknown. Sarah, a curious creature, eyes glowing with unquenchable thirst for the uncanny, always finds herself leaning towards the supernatural. With an irresistible attraction towards things that others would consider unsettling, she is forever captivated by the mysteries that lurk in the shadows. The supernatural, for her, is not merely a topic of interest, it's a world in itself, a realm she eagerly wants to venture into. On this journey she's found a fresh companion, a newly purchased book of ghost stories. As the plane hums underneath her, she finds herself comfortably nestled into her window seat, lost in the spectral tales in the plane's final row. As the aircraft slices through the darkened sky, Sarah delves deeper into hair-raising narratives. Tales of vindictive ghosts, accursed relics and houses riddled with supernatural presence captivate her thoughts. Each saga, more petrifying than the preceding one, intensifies the eerie ambience. She engrosses herself, engrossed in the spectral chronicles, feeling an inexplicable chill in the cabin atmosphere. An uncanny energy pervades the air around her. The more she immerses herself in these chilling accounts, the colder the cabin seems to become. The more she reads, the more the temperature in the cabin seems to drop, an ominous aura filling the air. Flight attendants, their faces pulled tight with strain, move along the aisles. They weave through a labyrinth of tight spaces, the air around them heavy with the scent of anxiety. Their crisp uniforms betray no disorder, yet their eyes tell of a tale of tension. Passengers, each a world unto themselves, ponder their circumstances. Some exchange troubled glances, others bury themselves in distractions, screens, music, conversation. Amidst this symphony of unease, there's a palpable sense of discomfort and fear, painting an image of collective dread. Yet Sarah remains absorbed in her book, oblivious to the mounting tension around her. Time stretches on. The aircraft is on an eventful course through a harshly unstable patch of heavens. Flickering overhead lights emit an eerie glow, creating a dancing pattern of shadows on the cabin interior. Shockwaves of turbulence cause shudders to ripple through the metal hull. Sarah, a lone passenger, is engulfed in a sudden, inexplicable apprehension, tightening its grip on her. An icy chill travels down her spine, goosebumps pricking her skin. She catches sight of something, an anomaly, through her peripheral vision. Turning towards the window, she spots a silhouette in the storm-ridden obscurity. A figure in the storm-tossed darkness. A silhouette, human-like, but for the eyes that glow with an unusual blue light. A shape so uncanny, suspended in the air, thousands of feet above the ground. Sarah's eyes widen in awe and terror, her mind struggling to comprehend the spectacle unfolding before her. The figure seems to be defying gravity, an alien presence in the otherwise serene night sky. It appears ethereal, a phantom-like figure that seems at once real and not. Her heart hammers relentlessly against her ribcage, a drum echoing her fear and exhilaration. The grip on her book tightens, her knuckles turning white from the strain. This can't be real, her mind wails, yet her eyes are unable to deny the truth. Sarah's heart hammers in her chest, her grip tightening on her book. She can't look away from the figure, floating just outside the window. A phantom shape, dancing in the storm's tumultuous rhythm. With every pulse of electric blue lightning, its presence is illuminated. An eerie glow casting shadows on the terror-stricken passengers. A momentary glimpse of its ghastly face. A grotesque visage marked by a speechless shriek. The sight sends icy tendrils of fear snaking among them, a shared nightmare that binds them together in silent dread. A ghostly hand emerges from the darkness, pressing against the glass, its touch colder than death. Sarah can feel the cold seeping into her very bones. Fear sweeps through the cabin as passengers scream and point at the terrifying sight. The atmosphere thins, the air filled with a palpable sense of dread and confusion. The cabin lights flicker, casting eerie, unpredictable shadows that seem to dance across the rows of terrified passengers. Their faces, once filled with excitement or exhaustion, are now twisted in shared horror. Mothers clutch their children tightly, while some passengers fumble for their seatbelts, their shaky hands betraying their attempts to maintain semblance of calm. Flight attendants, with years of training under their belts, rush to the windows, pushing through the chaos. Their faces reflect the terror mirrored by the passengers. They strain their eyes, trying to discern the unknown figure that had just been there, but to no avail. The craft is plunged back into normalcy. The figure has vanished as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving behind a cabin full of uneasy souls. The pilot's voice crackles over the intercom, announcing turbulence and instructing everyone to buckle up. The sound of his voice is gruff, filled with a sense of urgency that betrays the usual calm demeanor of a seasoned pilot. Suddenly, the plane jolts violently. The passengers gasp, their hearts pounding with a fear that threatens to consume them. The lights flicker ominously, casting unsettling shadows that dance around the cabin. Whispers of panic ripple through the cramped space as parents clutch their children tighter and the elderly grip their armrests with white-knuckled intensity. The plane's atmosphere has drastically changed, the passengers now finding themselves ensnared by an inexplicable, malevolent force they can't understand. In hushed whispers, passengers share their experiences of the apparition. They exchange quick, fearful glances, their voices barely audible above the drone of the plane's engines. A few individuals assert they've witnessed the eerie figure as well, endeavoring to corroborate the unsettling narrative. Skeptics among the crowd dismiss the accounts, suggesting they're merely collective illusions, induced by an atmosphere of tension and anxiety. Sarah, a young woman huddled in her seat, clings to her book with trembling hands. The tales woven into its pages fill her with palpable dread. The flight seems to go on forever, a never-ending journey into the unknown. As the plane touches down, passengers alight, shock clearly evident. Sarah clutches her book of ghost stories, an eerie tether to the phantasm she witnessed. Everyone felt the palpable fear throughout the flight, a grip of terror that clings tenaciously. It's as if the fabric of reality had been peeled back, revealing the uncanny that lurks beneath. The atmosphere is thick with dread. Every sound echoes a chilling reminder of the in-flight ordeal. Eyes dart around, haunted by the memory. An uncanny encounter has shaken them to their core. This harrowing experience underscores how thin the line between reality and the incorporeal is.